just to give you a little idea of what this analyst training is all about. The German-speaking Human Design School started a long time ago in the mid-90s. You know, Ra happened to live in Germany, and he toured Germany and Austria a lot. We were lucky and happy to have him here and to, you know, teach a lot. So we had a lot of teachers and analysts starting in the early 1990s. And this, hang on, I have to get my pointer tool. This kind of analyst training, this is what Ra installed in the 90s. It was, the basics were the same, Living Your Design, ABC, and Rave Cartography. And then we had the 4 levels of analyst training. This is what we have been teaching for something like 16 years, very successfully. It is the 4 levels, it is gates, it is partnership, transit, and crosses, 2 and 3, and level 4 is rave reading, you know, the technicalities of a reading, and how to present it and how to, you know, learn all this technical drama that we have to know. And this is the what we now call the short version. This does not take forever. It is 3 or 4 day courses. Only the last level is 8 days because it consists of 2 parts. But we can go into details then, because, you know, the rave reading, the keynoting, and the technical teaching, that takes a little bit longer. But basically, these are 3 or 4 day courses, so, you know, you get through it in a reasonable amount of time. And after that, you have a good idea about all the content of human design. You know about partnership, you know about transit, you know that there is a cross, you know all these things. You are not licensed to give the detail readings, but you're licensed to give foundation readings. But of course, you have to know all other things as well. When I was preparing this, what came to my mind, I think it's a good example. If you want to become a doctor, you have to study medicine. You have to know about all of the body. Even if you later on want to specialize in becoming, I don't know, an eye doctor or an ear doctor, whatever this is in English, you still have to study medicine and know about the body as a whole. This is this. And then afterwards, if you want to do something special, you can specialize. But after the basic training, you are a general practitioner in a way. That's what we teach, and that is the vast and big and interesting difference to what IHDS is teaching now, because there they have these endless, long, expensive courses that do train you in much greater depth, yes, of course. But that's not what it is all about in the beginning. You cannot spend money without making money. So our policy really is trying to give you a good, stable foundation. You have to know the whole content of human design. That's what you learn in the 3 basic courses, and that's what you learn in the 4 analyst trainings. And then please go out into the world and give good foundation readings. If after that you want to say, okay, that's not enough, I want to specialize, I want to give all the other readings, you can update, you can change over from this level to the PTL, the professional training, at any time you like. But you know, this is up to you. This is not something you have to do. So this is the big difference. This is what I wanted to make sure between the original education and the new education. It was 2 years, I think, after Ra had installed this. At the next Ibiza event, he came and presented the professional training, the endless, big, long training. And, you know, most people don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars or euros or whatever to spend before they can think about earning money. So we have been running both levels parallel for many, many years, very successfully. Of course, people who know right away that, you know, human design is their profession. They want to be a professional, they want to learn everything, they have money to spend without any problem, yes, then you can do the professional big training right away. For all the others who want to try first and make money first and see if they are good analysts at all. I mean, maybe you are a wonderfully intelligent person, but you do not enjoy giving readings. That's possible. You know, that happens sometimes and you never know before. So for everybody who really wants to get to an end without spending enormous amount of money and be able to really help other people, you know, our recommendation is really take the analyst training first, be an analyst, make money, become successful, and then specialize on whatever you like to specialize on. So that is my little intro. Any questions to this? I can just type in if you want to say something. I will activate your micros right away. We lost Diana again. Susanne, I'm activating your microphone in the meantime. Let's see if that works. Nobody wants to say anything? Okay. Well, fine with me. So let's continue. We can start right away with an example. Martin, I hand the micro. Jan, is the certification accepted by Jovian and I? This is a very good question. I go back. Actually, I don't know and I don't care. Ra has accepted this without any problem for many, many years. So originally, yes, he accepted all our analysts. As you might know, the German-speaking professionals and teachers, they have a very, very high reputation. We have, I'm not shy to say we have the best teachers worldwide. Martin is a teacher since 1992 or 3, something like this. So, you know, you don't find many like this. I'm in the design since 93. So, the certification you get from me, I don't know if you get an IHDS certification or not. And, you know, honestly, I could not care less. I have about 20 or 30 IHDS certifications up on my wall. And, you know, I'm not listed there and I'm not a good person anymore. I don't care what they do. They want your money. They are not interested in what you do with it. So, you know, Jovian and IHDS is not what Ra Uruhu used to do in the beginning. Does that answer your question? I'll activate your microphone. You can speak, Jan.
Okay. Well, yes, I guess. It's just that if I want to specialize later on with them, and
well,
they don't
specialize with us.
this.
Please specialize with us.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're not like a drugs dealer, you know. You get a little, and then later you're stuck. Yeah.
No, but I mean, again, this I cannot speak for them. But if you are willing to pay for whatever IHDS course they offer, I am quite sure that they will take your money and teach you. I mean, this is, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I might sound a little bit cynical. Please forgive me, but I had many years of incredible discussions with them. I'm tired. I have completely turned away from them. You know, I follow my strategy. I know what I do. I am true to human design. I'm true to what Ra taught me personally and in many courses. And that's what I do and that's what I want to do. I'm not interested in, you know, take the money and run policy. That's not what I do. That's not what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you see, this is going to be fun. Okay. Yes. Can we switch over to Martin or any other questions? I have a Lily. I'll activate your microphone. Hang on. Yes, Lily, you can speak.
Okay. I've only done the LYD ABC through Human Design America.
Mm-hmm.
I have not done cartography. Can I still think about moving ahead with the ATL at this point in time?
You have not done rave cartography?
No, I've done a lot of listening to Rod and reading and studying for the last 7 years, but I've not officially done the rave cartography.
Yes, this is.
Yeah, sorry.
This is difficult to answer. Basically, if you know the content, if you know all what is being taught in rave cartography, then of course I would not mind. The problem is that these foundation courses, the ABC and the rave cartography, they really lay the foundation. So if you miss the basic information, you will of course miss a lot of information in the further courses. So it is, of course, I cannot decide if you know enough. Martin, what would you say if somebody wants to take your level 1 without having finished rave cartography? What would you say?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yeah, first of all, because there is a reason why this is just step by step build it up. And I experienced it several times in my courses. When there was not a foundation, it was, in a sense, a little bit irritating.
For everybody.
There was something missing if you don't have the foundation. But as Ilse mentioned, so because there are books out where you can have it, when you know exactly what's been taught in rave cartography, and you know it for yourself, then it's okay, because this is not up to us. This is up to the students. Just to say, okay, if you do the steps, if you go this, we can rely on that basic information was passed over to you. That's the most important part. If you get the information out of another source or whatsoever, and you feel strong enough to go further, then it's up to you. What we try to avoid is that maybe someone ends up to say, I don't understand this, I don't understand that, I have my problems with this and that, because there was something missing in the beginning. So it's a kind of a responsibility of every student how to do it. So this is what Ilse mentioned. We are not looking for the money to say, yes, of course, that's not a problem, just do it, you will understand it, that's not our way. We never done this and we will never do this. So we are really interested in a solid foundation and well-trained analysts so that they really have the professional standing in the outer world and not coming from half knowledge or a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That's the reason in the background. So if you get the spirit and you know what we're talking about, then it's fine. And as I mentioned, if you have a different source or maybe, as far as I know, there must be a book, a training book, rave cartography, or there was something like this. I don't know. So that you know about the content, because when specifically when I do my health courses, and people, in a sense, they do the health courses first, and then they step back into the foundations. They really look at the teacher and say, "What do you tell me? I heard something completely different." Because what you heard different, in a sense, it's not different. It's something that should be added to the tree. But if you don't have the tree and you don't have the roots, you don't understand the fluids. And so, therefore, it's just a recommendation. Take care to have all the solid things. And what Ilse mentioned, okay, she was now telling a little bit more. I'm sorry, I have the same same experience with the EICS. I know that since years they are selling my courses I have once given at this school, and they don't pay me. So make your own thoughts about the spirit of this organization. This is something I don't want to work with it, and it's a pity, and it hurts. Just to hear when it was just recently, yes, I bought this course from you, from the HDS. That's fine. And now you can ask where the money is. And this is not the way we are working. The way Ilse is just managing all of these things and giving it a structure is also to take a look at the money and the relationship of the money and the quality of the content we're giving to you. And this has to be something worthwhile for both sides.
Exactly.
To our experience, it is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that was a good comment. Lily, if you can find the rave cartography manual, that should be around. I think even Human Design America sell them. Maybe you can have a close look at this, and then, yeah, if you say I'm ready to go and I'm willing to not ask basic questions in there, then yes, of course, it's your responsibility. Okay, but of course that's of course a very vital point. I mean, we have this problem very often. You know, it is a step-by-step education, and you do miss out the benefit. Audio quality is poor. Oh no, my thing says I have excellent quality, so it must be must be yours. my computer tells me excellent. Yeah. Okay, so. You know, it should build one on top of the other. It is your responsibility to take one step after the other. And it is your own harm, your own damage, if you miss out in the beginning, because you will not get to a good end. Doing the basic course is really a nice experience. It's not just a nuisance. You have, yeah, absolutely. I mean, even you know, whenever teachers used to or teach here in our human design school in Vienna, you know, and sometimes I sit there half an hour before they finish, you know, whatever. So I hear whatever they are taught, and even if I sit in a Living Your Design course, if I sit in a basic course, even you know, I've been in human design for 23 years now, and I hear new things and I learn something. So it is definitely a worthwhile experience, and you will always add to your knowledge. It will always, you know, as Martin said, you will put it puts flesh to the bone. Okay. Yeah, and that's a very nice comment. Thank you. Okay, so let's be a little bit more concrete. I talked to Martin before, and we said, you know, as Jakob asked about an example, I said, well, let's pick just one gate, and Martin will give you a little example of how he is going to look at gates in the level 1. So he's not only teaching the normal level 1, he's adding a little bit from his point of view, and I will show you what I do in the crosses. And it was so funny because Martin and I, we picked the same gate, which I thought was, you know, perfect. Okay, Martin, gate 58.
That's great. And when I look at that image, I wonder who's the first to say this is not the 58.
Oh shit!
This is because Ilse and I, we both have the total channel. We have 5818, so we always talk about the just one energy. Right?
Shit, sorry. Oh my god, I'm trying to draw it in if I manage it. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Just maybe a little bit out of my story. What was one part that was very fascinating to me were the 3 energy formats. And because they are so tiny, below there I made a photocopy of the entire body graph. It was up to 4.5 meters high in my the crown center goes just 90 degrees under the ceiling. It was funny, but it makes a little bit bigger. And one way I learned something was just that something out of the body graph was looking at me. And so I was always fascinating in terms of the root center. And one thing when I start with teaching the hexagrams, I love to start first of all with the energy formats, because this is the brain stem, and also just for an example to say something about how our brain stem is, or this basic part of our brain stem is functioning, because design system gives us an insight into it, how it is functioning. We can only experience the result of it. We can not experience the process in it, but we can look in the detail. I love this, just to look at the cards, how the game of life is be played. And then I always start with the understanding circuit, because everything is about to understand it, and what understanding is all about, we know when we move just through the single gates then. And I start with the 58. And because this is the joyous or the love of life. The key to joy is just to be stimulated, which is something very important. So I hope that the course is stimulating you and your joy, and you understand better. And if we understand something better than before, it's just a joy, because when we don't understand, it's not a joy. So this is one basic. But what's interesting me, and what I try to just to give to the students, something they can a little bit more relate to their body, to their physical reality. And there was also something interesting me, because in terms of the root center, there was already or always just they speak about the adrenaline system. And my attention was always, if it's the adrenaline system, we don't need 9 gates, so one would be quite enough. So if there are 9 gates, every gate must be different, and every gate must be different in our body. And therefore to look, okay, what's the difference between all of these 9 gates, and how to identify in terms of what I call to put flesh to the bones. So if you go to the 58, and what I love to always in terms of the I Ching is to go back. I Ching was something that was fascinating me since my youth. I had it on my night desk close to the bed. It was fascinating. Astrology, all of that stuff. And most of all, Richard Willem and the I Ching and other books. And then I found a book and I don't know if the word in English is the same, antiquariat.
An old one, yeah, an old book.
From the ancient Chinese philosophy, how they look at these, because the hexagrams are in the ancient Chinese literature, they are images, they are not letters, they are images. And so they try to transmit a spirit. And they called it the joy, the lake, and the openness. And this was to me like a trigger, to see the openness and the lake. And when I will do the course, I show you an image of a lake. And you see what this lake is all about, and what this lake has the chance to do to your basic existential energy. Yeah, it's not a waterfall. It's not a tsunami, it's a lake. And a lake, it's something that's quiet, and a lake, it's something that's there. And what they mean with the openness is that the lake, because it's not a river, but it's flowing, it's just a surface. And a lake with its big, big surface has the chance to put in a lot of rain if it's raining. So this is the openness. You can take a lot of things in. This is stimulation is the key of joy. If you are open to a lot of things that makes you joyous. And the other way around as well. So the sea, if there's a hot summer and the sun just takes away the water, so the surface is there, so that the sun can just take a lot of water out of the sea and give it to the sky. It will building these clouds, and it will rain again and fall down. So this is the circulation. But basically what they mean in terms of the lake, and therefore the joy, is the openness. Because when you are open, you can be full of joy, you give joy to the world, you are receptive to the joy. It requires the openness. And just everybody has experienced that you were closed. And you were closed and there were no joy, and you were closed and you were not open to receive joy because you were closed. And the openness, the lake, this is something very important. And this is a matter how, what kind of fluid is in your blood. So the 58 basically is the main, it's the main gate for the endorphins, for a hormone. And the doctors or the researchers whatsoever in terms of the hormones, the endocrinology, so they say this is the champagne of the blood. This is what makes you happy. And it means if you are open, if you are full of joy, so then inside of you there are the endorphins. If it's not the case, it's closed. And when the door is closed, nothing comes out, nothing has the chance to enter your system, then of course you are more close to the adrenaline, stress, fight, all of that stuff. And so therefore to understand that basically here it is about the joy of life, enjoy your life, enjoy your body, enjoy your circulation inside of you. Be open to yourself, be open to the world, what the world is offering you, and give the joy to the world and receive the joy. And this is the lake, this is the openness. And this is something I try to bring you closer to something that helps you more to catch it in a sense with your life than just only with your brain and understanding. So that there is something that remains. So if you do a reading, so that you have the chance just to submit something different, something special that is more than just theoretical. And this is what I try to add to the basic or to the general teaching, to give you something that you have more vital relationship to the gates than just an intellectual knowledge. And therefore the root center, to me, it's still so unbelievable fascinating, all these gates and what's happening in there. And therefore I spend quite of a time in the start with the root center to give you the insight about the basics of these hexagrams, of the basic energy, the existential energy in our body, in the parakidneys, what it means, and how it is, how we have the chance to differentiate all of that stuff.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, as long as there's no question to it.
Okay. Okay, is it normal that I find it hard to relate to gates that are not mine? Oh, yes. I would say, oh, Martin, would you like to answer that?
That's natural. So, but it's not, you are not forced to. So you can have a deep relationship to this and that. Because there's a transit and there's a long-term transit and you have already experienced, or there's someone around and you know a lot about it. But basically, of course, but I also know it the other way around. So that some people, they know a lot of different varied gates, but their own gates they haven't understood until today. Depends also on the line. Yeah. There are some lines people don't like, and by the way, something shake hands with the devil, or so all of that stuff, or
perversion. Perversion.
58 to 18 to the how it's called, the unheilbare Krankheit.
Terminal disease.
Terminal disease. So okay, just for me, it's important to see the beauty in it. Mm-hmm. Because in every gate, in every line, it's not a punishment, it's not a bad thing. It's needed for something. It's only the mind that makes something out of it. But then to see how beautiful it is, and if you just know only one sentence, if you see the 18.2, the terminal disease, it's the only line where spiritual growth is mentioned. And to see what it requires, and not just to stop because terminal disease, horrible whatsoever. But if you move through, you see, wow, that's a great thing, and so that's my way to move through all of this, so that you have something you can work with when you do a reading, because you will also just touch these lines. There are only a few which are for some people so horrible, because the course won't be a line course. But okay, this and that, if there's a time, I step in. Or projectors, yes. Sorry. Yeah, of course, naturally, projectors, they are more interested in what's going outside, not what's inside of them, because then some things for themselves they don't know.
And Jan, I would like to add here, I'm a generator as well, and I've got a completely open head and ajna. My only gate pointing up there is 56, so it's completely open. When I started giving readings, if somebody came with one of these 3 channels up here, I was really worried. I don't understand. I have no sense with these channels and gates. And I kept to the book. I gave a reading and I explained exactly what I had learned and what Ra had told us and what it says in the book. And those people, they understood what I was talking about, even though I myself, I felt uneasy. So that's the beauty, or one of the many, many beauties of human design. If you stick to the right keyword, if you stick to what you have learned, if you stick to the content, if you know what it's all about generally, you cannot go wrong. It can be a gate that you have no sense, I mean, these 3 channels up there, they are really strange to me. I honestly, I can tell you exactly what they are, but I find it very hard to relate to that. But in a reading, I can give you very precise information about it. And that's the difference. I don't have to feel it. I have to be able to give you a good explanation. Okay?
I give you something different, because I don't have to have diabetes for myself in order to know something about it, to tell something, and to help you. So it's just on a different level. But as Ilse mentioned, the people, they know it. I had it with Shake Hands with the Devil, because I did a reading in the beginning. I tried to avoid to point out this. I spoke about everything, but I lost this. And in the end, the client says, "Hey, you forgot something. What about this? Let me take a look at the book." And I said, "Oh shit." Shake hands with the devil. So and he took the book and a look, and he was laughing. He said, "Hey, yes, this I know all my life long. That's great."
I've got it too. And Ra and I, we kept joking about how he's been my devil all along.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really
okay,
funny.
Jan, does that answer your question? Your microphone is on.
Yes.
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 Okay. Okay, wonderful. Then, yeah, let's go on with the examples. I will continue. Okay, now you cannot quite see how fortunately the sun and the earth is not here. So I'm very embarrassing. I'm sorry about that mistake. I've got the whole channel, so really I should know by now which end the 58 is. Anyway, in my example, I would like to use the same gate. So if somebody comes to me with the cross of service, with the sun in 58, now the crosses, they have a reputation of being, very complicated and very mystical, and you have to be, completely deconditioned before your cross can unfold. What a load of rubbish. I always use myself as an example. I am on the cross of planning, I used to be an interior designer before I met human design. So I was planning, I was living off planning, before human design even existed. So nobody can tell me that my cross needs 7 or 14 years of deconditioning before it unfolds. It unfolds no matter if I notice or not. So the cross is an overall headline. I love to call it the headline for life. So you are your cross. Maybe you don't notice. That's possible. But you still live your cross. You still represent your cross. So for me, that's very, very important information. So if somebody like this comes to me, like Martin, like my son, I know many people on the cross of service. This goes well with my whole channel of 1858.
Exactly this position, exactly this. I have the sun in 58.
Yeah. This is your cross, my son's cross, so it's very funny. Yeah. Okay, so if somebody comes like this, I would say, fourth quarter, sun in 58. So I mean, Martin, your intro about the joyous and the openness to take joy and inspiration that's a good start. So this is somebody whose overall theme really is about let's get going, let's get moving and improve something. So there's a basically joyful pressure and energy to improve things. Hey, we spent a skiing holiday in a hotel a couple of years ago. Very, very modern, beautiful hotel, and they had very nice big. It was posters, pictures on the wall. Every 10 meters you had a wonderful picture on the wall. And every second one was hanging a little bit crooked. It was not straight. I walked past there every day, and every day I had to move about 25 paintings, pictures on the wall, so that they would hang straight. 1858, I cannot bear having things not correct. And I don't mind, it's not a problem. So my husband grins and smiles when I, correct things again. But that's what really represents a 58. It is not a difficult drama. Oh, I have to correct something again. No, it is, hey, we could improve that. Wouldn't life be much more fun if things were okay? So this is what I would say to just the sun position in the fourth quarter. The joyous pressure to improve things. And with the fourth quarter in general, an overall feeling of a much bigger scale. This is not hanging the picture straight. This is improving the world. Fourth quarter is really the sum total of everything that happened before. So after we have learned to think, and we have learned to build, and we have learned to relate, then in the fourth quarter, we really should be able to, get to the how shall I say, to the best that mankind can achieve. So this is what the fourth quarter is all about, taking it to the next step, taking it further, seeing the big picture. So, without looking into the cross book, without telling you any mystical story of whatever, I can see that this is somebody who will enjoy putting his energy into correcting something for the greater good. I mean, the cross of service is for the greater good, for improving the collective, to make sure that we all, the collective together, have a better future tomorrow. So, we are just in the headline. I have not looked at any line. I have not looked at any detail. That's just what I would say from this overall cross. Then, of course, the whole axis, the 58, is opposite to the 52. So we have these two oppositions. To be joyous, you have to be still. You cannot be joyous and enjoy life if you run around like crazy. So the keeping still and the sitting still and the concentrating and the being focused, is something that is very clearly related to being able to improving something. And then we have the unconscious axis. We have somebody who has in a way, a smell. It's not really the smell, but it is a physical body's awareness of, hey, something is not correct here. So this is this automatic, unconscious body knowledge that says, hey, this is not okay. And out of this comes an opinion. We have to offer we have to offer analyst training courses now to improve how human design is put out in the world. So, that's really a very short and summarized view on the cross of service. And it's fun to do, and it needs to be part of any reading. If I give 15-minute overviews, I always look at the cross. Sometimes I don't talk about it, I don't mention the name, but I, as an analyst, I know, that this is somebody who wants to improve things, and I will have to implement this into the information I give to somebody, even in an overview. So anybody who says, oh, well, cross information comes later on, they have missed the point. I do not give detailed cross readings to a beginner. Yes, of course, you start with a foundation reading. But even in a foundation reading, you, as the analyst, have to know what the cross is about. And you have to be able to structure the whole design around or below the headline of the cross. So that's my approach on crosses. Okay, Jakob, that was your question. I will try and activate your microphone. It's on now. Does this answer your question? Can I do with the student version of it? Yes, of course. Yes. I mean, software is, whatever you prefer. You can speak, Jakob. Hello, hello? Hello? Hello, hello? Can anybody hear me?
Ja, ich.
Yeah, okay. The sound goes in and out. Okay, Jakob, your microphone is on. You can speak if you want. Jakob? Okay. No more Jakob. Well, any other comments or questions to this? Yes, silence. Then let's change to the advertising section. What we were talking about now, these were, of course, the analyst training 1 and 2. I've only included 1 and 2 because this will take us well into 2017. And after that, we will continue. Rose Litjens, good friend and very old, also she started training with us in the 90s with her. So Rose Litjens is going to teach partnership. And the crosses and partnership, these are the 2 levels that you can do in any order. You can start with, you have to start with the gates, and you have to end with keynoting and rave reading. But if you do the crosses first or partnership first, that really doesn't make any difference. So because of Rose's timetable, we changed it and we start analyst training to the crosses, and Rose Litjens will do partnership and transit after that. And then this takes us into 2018, and then we will do level 4. All the timing and all the details will be worked out with the students. We are quite flexible, so we see how it goes and work out the times together. But we not only teach analyst training, we also have special courses. Martin, this takes us to you once again. On my birthday, Martin is starting to teach his very special Human Design and Health course, which Martin just finished teaching in German, and it was a tremendous success. We had the chat room more than full, so it was, the biggest, most successful course ever. And the feedback was fantastic, and, it really is incredible information. So, yeah, Martin, maybe you will tell us a little bit about this health course again.
Yeah, I love it very much. It was the very first course I did in terms of design and health. I met Ra very early before design stepped out into the world, and he trained me personally, and it was the first course I did in 1995 in Munich. He encouraged me to do so about design and health, and I remember he was sitting in the classroom as a student. He was very interested in these things because he always mentioned, yes, I'm a mechanic, but you are the dynamic. So it was what's up to me to say something about the dynamics, because the circuits. This course, the very first course, is only about the circuits.
Circuitry. You mean all the circuitry?
The circuitry, and this was the first thing, because I was interested when the design system, as it claims to contain everything about life. So all the themes that have to do with health must be in there, and I was looking where they are. And it was the time in 1993, I think, Ra started with the circuitry, because before it wasn't consciously aware about it. It came step by step again back into consciousness and awareness, and I was absolutely fascinated to it, and so I started. Just to give you an overview, the understanding helps us to understand every single therapy form, no matter what kind of, and every therapist. So because this is something logical, this is about technical, this is about it has to be combined with joy, it has to be combined with stillness. It affects, according to the 515, the only definition of the single cell, it affects our collective of our cells, which we call the body, in this collective circuit. It has to deal with doubting, with going into the future, being the leader, all of that stuff, just to see everything, no matter what kind of therapy form, its description, how it has to be seen, is in there. Every therapist, no matter which therapy form whatsoever, is in there. And this I want to show. The same thing is with the sensing circuit. This is about disease, no matter what kind of disease. This is the process, beginning, middles, ends. This is making an experience. This is the endurance. This is about witnessing. This is about the love of the body. All of that stuff, to see it in this context. And so we will step through all of these circuits, these various circuits, and to see what the specific theme in terms of health is all about in this circuit, and then to combine them in the end, to combine parts of, because the most important in the end, and this is something everybody today in a sense should know, this is the defense circuit. The defense circuit, the left side is about medical application, and the interaction, how you nurture the body, if you obey the laws, and so on. And the right side is about the interaction. The 59 and the 6th gate is about the interaction between the therapists and the client, and vice versa, because this is an intimate relationship. And this is something I use in the end, not only to move through all the very single lines, to see what this is all about, so that everybody can see, if you have a single gate in this circuit, what is important for you to pay attention to when it's going on the right side, to have an interaction with the therapist or with the client, and what is essential for you on the left side when it comes to a medication, in order to take care for your vitality, for your splenic system, which is the overall well-being in the very moment. And so this is something very special. And in the end, the centering circuit, this is the circuit of healing. and then to see what healing is all about in the middle of the body, which combines the two motors, the sacral center and the ego center, and give power in the middle of our body without any awareness and consciousness to the G center, to the microcosmos within us, just building the macrocosmos. And so moving through all of these aspects which can give us a deeper insight just to understand what these parts which relate to health is all about, and how simple and how fascinating, how accurate it is. It has its description and explanation within the design system, based on, again, on the way the ancient Chinese philosophers just gave us the images, like the openness and the lake and other things as well. So, and we just did it in German, and Ilse mentioned it was the best course ever in terms of students, because in this time we are living in, and I mean this very honest, it's very important that we know as much as possible about health, about treatment, about diseases, about the energy of it, the matrix of it, the therapy, the therapists, the interaction, all of that stuff, because our surroundings, they don't get better, and the diseases, they get even worse, with what we call in Germany the multi-resistant germs and all of that stuff. So at least in Germany, it's really a big problem, and we don't live in a vacuum. It's just a worldwide problem according to the World Health Organization. By the way, the definition of health, this is something I start with from the World Health Organization, because they say this is a physical health, this is a mental health, and this is social health, which is the emotional health. So they really say it has to be a health in all the three awareness centers or fields of awareness we have, and not just the missing of a physical disease. So it's not about because I don't have catching a cold and I don't have this or that. So health is something that's deeply related to these three areas. And then to see how they work within that, how they interrelate, and what they mean. And this deep understanding, it's not only a help for everybody who's just attending the course. Of course it will be unavoidable, but it's also something that can be a very, very helpful tool for clients. Specifically, just only to understand the defense circuit, line by line. It's so helpful for the interaction, for taking remedies, medicines, and I did it as well, that I took examples out of the course, various charts, and to give an example, and to see what it means, and then to get the feedback from the student. And it was, every time, it blew
they were blown away.
Absolutely, how to say it. And I always so fascinated how precise this system is describing, how helpful it is. Yeah. So
yeah. Okay, wonderful. Okay, anybody wants to say something to that? Any comments, any questions? I can turn on every... Why are the lessons so early in the day? Oh, come on, 10 to 12. Jan, what are you doing between 10 and 12? You're a night bird. Well.
Me too, by the way, yeah? Me too. But you said, okay, not that late, because some people have to have lunch and they have maybe work and to do and this and that. And I said, okay, I get up early. I will be.
Yeah, but 10 is sort of, I mean, you know, it's not 8, it's 10, it's 10. No choice, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, well, let me then, now the next part is my little advertising of BG5. Come to Russia then. Yeah, yes, exactly. Yeah, I am the big. I have two big specialities in human design, and that's the crosses and BG5. These have been and have always been my big interests, and I was. Well, I originally I was the exclusive BG5 teacher. Well, this changed as the money thing. Anyway, I've been teaching BG5 since 2008. So this is 8 years now. I've been teaching it in German and in English, and for me, it is the in a way the most important part of human design. Now don't get me wrong, I mean it maybe not quite literal, but human design is an endless, huge field of information. You can spend your life learning human design and you will not get bored, I guarantee. I've been trying for 20 plus years. So this is really endless. You can spend endless amounts of money on human design courses and stuff. I suppose all of you know that by now. Now, if you do not have a good, stable, material foundation for all of this, there is no way you can, you can pay for the courses. There's no way you have the time and the possibility to even indulge in that kind of training. So for me, the material side, is the starting point. If I cannot pay my bills, if I don't know if my electricity is still on tomorrow, I cannot bother about my deconditioning process and my development of whatever. So we all have a material life. We are consciousness in form. And it is the form we have to look after. It is the form we have to feed that costs money. It is the form that we have to house that costs money. This is the form that we have to, clothe and whatever. So to manage the form, we need a material life. And if we don't know how to make money, if we don't know how to work fulfillingly, there is no way that we will master the material life. And if you don't master your material life, you will have a hard time developing your spiritual life. If I'm hungry, I cannot think about, I don't know, whatever, or at least I can't. Meditation with a hungry, empty stomach is not going to be very easy. So BG5 for me really is the material starting point. Now that's the personal benefit. And of course, as a human design analyst, this is one of the most important informations that we can give to people. I do very many business profiles, career overview readings. They are cheap. They cost 60 euros. They take, 15 to 20 minutes. That's easily done. And if I just imagine how much effort, how much empty work and effort I could have avoided if somebody had told me a few decades ago how I would work best. I tried to work in surroundings, in partnerships, in groups, and I don't fit in there. And I never knew. I always I have a big ego. I always thought, well, I try harder and I will show them I can do it. And, after a while, I just got tired. It never suited me because I did not know what I was. I did not know what my gifts were. I did not know how I should work, what I should work, apart from the planning that had always been sort of hanging around. But BG5 can be very sophisticated. If Bill Gates would engage me and ask me to restructure Microsoft, yes, that would be a big challenging job. But usually it's a lot smaller, it's a lot easier. It's young people trying to find out where they should orient themselves career-wise, or what they should study and train and learn. It is people who thinking about changing their job because they are unhappy, or the company closes down, or they are made redundant. There's many reasons why people have to change job. And again, knowing where to look, where to go, that's very, very precious information. So the work as a BG5 consultant is for me a very, very fulfilling work, because I don't have to teach a lot. If a company asks for my services, I don't have to teach them human design. I don't have to ask them to go or enter into their deconditioning process. I can tell them here and now, with your difficult and terrible not self, what can you do here and now to become more successful? And that's wonderful. And of course, the awareness sneaks in through the back door, because by improving your material life, you have less stress, you are more relaxed, you have more time, you have more free time, you can spend money and time on, let's take a human design course. And then suddenly the awareness starts sneaking in. So I have seen in many business clients that I worked with for a longer period of time, that we start on a very material level, but slowly but surely they go beyond, and sort of the human design bit sinks in and comes in and gets sort of added to it. But it's an incredibly fulfilling starting point. And it is a business training. I mean, again, we are far from being as successful as we should be. There is so many really bad business consulting around in the world. So if BG5 would thrive, and if there is many, many more BG5 business consultants around, businesses would benefit largely. I mean, I live here in Vienna. I live next to a big shopping mall, big main road. If I have to go up there and I have to go through masses of people with grumpy faces and, tight bodies, and, if I look at them, I say, what is this? What kind of life are you living? You look and you feel and you have an aura of, frustration, of bitterness, of exhaustion. That's not how our life should be. I love my job. It is evening now. I will continue working for quite a few hours. I've got something to do. That's not a drama. I love my job. I really love every time I sit down and do my human design work. That's how business should look like. That's how the working environment should look like. And we can really help everybody, every single person, every group, to see how they could be happier and have more fun in their daily working life. Because, most people spend 5 days a week, all day at work. And then you don't enjoy your work? Are you crazy? What kind of waste is that? So, to avoid having frustrating, bitter-making jobs, you should know where to go, where to turn, and that's sort of the main goal of BG5, as I like to teach it. Okay, so that was my little advertising bit. I will open all your micros now and see if you would like to say something, comment something, ask something. Okay, most micros are open. Zenaida, Onno, and Diana, they are still turning. Onno is on. Okay, your turn now. If you want to say something, you're welcome. Hello?
Ale wydaje się, że wszystko łapane. Dlatego chyba się bardzo jest wydaniem, a edycję wytworzenie.
I can't help. Stop. Who is it? I cannot understand anything. Who was that? Who was talking? Can anybody understand what is going on?
Not at all.
Okay. This sounds like Arabic. Is somebody speaking English? I don't know what it is. Okay. Jan, if you don't want to do it now, when would be your next chance? I honestly don't know. This is our first try in English and online. We will see how this goes. If this is successful, yes, of course we will continue. But this is something I really don't know yet. Okay, well, if there is no comments, no questions, then I thank you very much for attending. I hope you got all the information that you wanted. And yeah, maybe see you in class, maybe see you in one of our courses. It's been a pleasure having you all here. Martin, thank you for your time. And if we, you know, as we go along, we can have another open house, and I will introduce Rose to you. She's fun talking to, but that's, you know, that will take a couple of months until we settled in and keep going. Any questions, you can write me, you know, you can contact me by mail or on Facebook. I'm usually easily available. Okay.
Thank you for attending. Thank you for interest. I'm looking forward to the course.